What's up, guys? James Baek here, and welcome back to the Devil's Bow Spot Climb. My voice is a bit funny because I don't feel the greatest right now, but I am going to be recording. I did get back from Worlds Tuesday, but as I said, I haven't been feeling well, so I haven't been having much time to record. But since I'm starting to feel a little bit better than what I used to be, well, how I felt like when I came back on Tuesday, I'm going to start recording, maybe doing some streaming, starting sometime next week. But yeah, so a lot of you guys have been wondering what are my plans, VGC content wise, for the 2017 format. Now, the format rules I believe come out September 1st, so I don't want to rush into any content until we're confirmed what's going to be happening for the fall regionals. So I'm going to be holding off on VGC content till September 1st, but I am working on some guides and stuff that will be released later, so that would be pretty cool. And today's team, we're gonna go on this Battle Spot Doubles ladder, and like we always do, let's stop talking about the future. Let's work on the present. We got Gardevoir, Amoonguss, Landisferian, Thundurus Incarnate, Tyranitar, and Heatran. Scar's top 8 2015 Worlds team. We have 2 more episodes with this team. Let's get into it. Alright, we got Oz from Canada with a 1607 rating as our first opponent of the day. He's bringing the team of Kangaskhan, Bisharp, Crobat, Garchomp, Salamence, and Zapdos. So 2 potential Mega Evolutions. We got the Kangaskhan and the Salamence as potential Mega Evolutions. The Crobat's interesting because Crobat wasn't exactly used in past formats. Usually 2016 would be the time for it to shine. But this should definitely be interesting. Gardevoir looks like it has a fantastic matchup. A Gardevoir Moongus especially, which I actually do like that lead a lot. He doesn't have much for Trick Room either. If he safety goggles though on his Crobat, I could have some problems. But I think Gardevoir Moongus is just a safe lead all around. I wish I had Ice Punch on Tyranitar, because Ice Punch on Tyranitar would do so well in this matchup right here. I think Landorus and Tyranitar are the call though. I don't see Heatran doing much work. I mean, it can switch into maybe like a Draco Meteor or Hyper Voice or something like that. But otherwise, I don't feel it being too useful. I can see a Salamence Crobat lead here, which would be scary for me. But we'll see what my opponent decides to bring, as I am going to lead my Gardevoir Amoonguss against my opponent's Bishop Garchomp. Okay. Not so bad here. I can trace the Defiance while I can get off a Trick Room right here pretty safely. And Rage Powder, I think. He doesn't have much that can stop this. Maybe, even if he has like a substitute Garchomp or Swords Dance, he doesn't really threaten me. Well, Swords Dance Focus Sash could. But unless this is Safety Goggles Bishop, I feel, or he Rock Slide flinches us, there should be no problems. I'm hoping he doesn't Rock Slide flinch us, as we are going to Mega Evolve with the Gardevoir, and if he does Iron Head or Knock Off, we do get the residual damage that breaks its Focus Sash from the Bishop. So we are going to Rage Powder here, hoping for no Rock Slide flinches or Safety Goggles. He actually goes straight for the Earthquake. This man with no fear just going for the Earthquake, getting a lot of damage off, knocking out his own Bishop. What? He just knocked out his own Bishop, as we do get the Trick Room up. So I don't know what kind of play my opponent made. Maybe he forgot to press Protect on Bishop, or maybe he was going to switch out. But either way, we're going to take that. Zapdos is going to come out here. I'm just going to fire off a Hyper Voice right here. And a Spore into Garchomp, because if it is Focus Sash, he might want to... He just forfeits. I don't know what just happened. I don't think I'm going to count that one, though. So we'll be right back for another battle. What was that? Alright, we got Purple from Denmark. 1754 rating. I feel like I faced this person before. Oh, this is a Terracotta team, and I have 0 answers to Terracotta. How fun. I think I'll leave Landorus Tyranitar here. I have 0 answers for Terracotta. Dang. I have zero answers to Terracotta. We're gonna try though. I think I'm gonna get destroyed because I don't have a counter to Terracotta. Like that's like the one problem I had with Scar's team. Like he didn't have an answer to Terracotta other than Landers, but Landers can't knock out Terrakion with a spread Earthquake, and it didn't have superpower. It had Rock Tomb. Was it Rock Tomb Rock Slide or Rock Tomb Knockoff? It was something like that. It didn't have superpower, I know that. So, and the rest of his Pokemon couldn't exactly do well. I'm gonna try to see if this works. You're forced to do Landers Tyranitar, which is not exactly the best lead, especially if he leads Landers here. Because Landers can also destroy the team as well. Yeah, but that was like the one problem I had with Scar's team was like whenever I play Terracotta, I feel like it was pretty much an auto loss. And yeah, I wonder how I would have. Because you guys know, or if you guys didn't know, I actually brought Terracotta to the 2015 World Championship. I would have loved to see how Scar would have played against my Terracotta team. I'm not saying like who would win. I'm just saying I would be interested on how he played the matchup because it would have been definitely interesting, and I think it would have been an uphill battle for the Gardevoir team. But we'll see. We'll see. This is going to be a very, very scary battle. I think what I have to do is he leads Whimsicott, Terrakion, I go for the Rock Tomb and the Low Kick. Yeah, I think I'm forced to do that. He does. My opponent does just lead the Whimsicott, Terrakion, as I do lead my Landers and my Tyranitar. We do get the Intimidate off, so +3 Rock Slide will not knock out either one of my Pokemon. He has to go for a close combat or Stone Edge. So let's see. I am firing off a Rock Tomb and I'm firing off a Low Kick. I don't think you protect Terrakion if you're in this situation. You could switch out though. I could definitely see a switch out. You should switch out the Terrakion to preserve it. Yeah, he should definitely switch out to preserve it. We'll see though. It's going to be interesting who he has in the back. I'm guessing Gengar because Gengar will probably be the Mega Evolution of his team. It's his only Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. And I think my opponent brought Lapras the last time they battled me, so I don't exactly have a counter to Lapras either. I have to hope that I can Spore it and then get some big damage off of my Pokemon. Of course, these are my two Pokemon that can hit Lapras, so I am risking both of them right now. But I had to get rid of Terracotta if I want to go anywhere in this battle. I had to get rid of the Terrakion 100%. And Rock Tomb will put the Terrakion in what it should be Earthquake range. He is going to go straight for the beat up though. I'm hoping he doesn't go for the first turn Rock Slide flinches, because that would be terrible for me. Especially if he went for Rock Slide on my Tyranitar, that would have been the worst. The worst. I don't care if he Stone Edges Landers though, because Landers going down isn't that big of a deal. So he's going to get the +4, +3 because of the Intimidate. We'll see what he goes for, as he's going to go for the Rock Slide. Landers avoids the attack. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes. He would have done a lot of damage, but he wasn't going to knock out either one of my Pokemon. And as long as Low Kick connected, because Life Orb Low Kick, no way Terrakion is living. As Terrakion does go down. Nice. Awesome. We get one of the biggest threats without taking any damage. I guess maybe that's one way you can win against this team. Hope that they miss Rock Slide, but I don't think you should have went for Rock Slide. He even had Landers in the back. I think the first time you switch out your Terrakion into Landers, because you get the Intimidate off. I'm guaranteed to attack into that slot because I don't have a choice. I'm going to go for the U-turn here into the Whimsicott and switch out my Tyranitar, go into a Moongus right here. Because switching out to Moongus does give me some momentum, because I can U-turn into my Gardevoir. Well, one, I don't want to lose Tyranitar because his last Pokemon is weak to my Tyranitar. It's either Gengar, Rotom Heat, or Lapras. My Tyranitar does well against all three of them, so Tyranitar is going to be useful in this matchup. I'm going to switch out into my Moongus. Tailwind is going to be set up in the Whimsicott completely okay, as we'll see what the Landers goes for. It's going to be U-turn of his own, and it's going to U-turn into the Moongus, which is nice because I get a bit of chip damage to put it. If it's Assault Vest, I get to put it in 2 Hyper Voice range, I believe. Or 2 KO range from my Hyper Voice. We'll see what my opponent decides to bring. It's going to be Rotom as my opponent's last Pokemon. I wish we could see the safety goggles before. We do U-turn the Whimsicott. If I get rid of Whimsicott, I do have a really nice shot at winning the game. As I'm going to go into my Gardevoir right here. Fake Tears, if my opponent has it, wouldn't knock out my Gardevoir. We get Prankster, which doesn't matter because my only priority moves are Protect and Trick Room, which have high priority and negative priority anyway, so that's not going to matter. Looks like he's not Safety Goggles, so that's a good information to know. I think my safest play, no matter what, is just to Psychic the Whimsicott and try to pick up the knockout. Like, I have no reason to Trick Room here anyway. I mean, I could if I want to avoid a potential win condition with Rock Slide flinches, but he can Encore me, which is like the biggest problem, and just Psychicking the Whimsicott is good. If he switches out to Landers, that's a bad play because you need Landers to win the game 100%. Because these 2 Pokemon can't exactly handle my own Landers or even my Tyranitar unless he has Will-O-Wisp on his Rotom and dodges all my Rock Slides, which is definitely possible, I guess. But yeah, Psychic will do a good amount to the Whimsicott. I don't know if it will pick it up from that range. And I'm protecting Amoonguss because I like Amoonguss as a pivot in case his Landers comes out, because I can always rotate the Intimidates and the regenerated health with U-turn. So that's why I'm keeping Amoonguss alive right now. I don't want to switch into Tyranitar or Landers right away because 1, I want to keep the Intimidate, and 2, he could Will-O-Wisp the Amoonguss slot, predicting a Tyranitar switch. So we are going to protect Amoonguss right here. We could see a Taunt right here, or Fake Tears. It is going to be the Fake Tears. I do not mind this play at all. Let's go to where Special Defense falls. And the Thunderbolt, that should knock me out even after Fake Tears. Yeah, that actually was pathetic damage. That was actually less than I was expecting. Psychic does pick up the Whimsicott knockout, and now it's 2v1. And this is looking pretty good in our favor. This is looking pretty good in our favor. Especially if that Landers is choiced, he'll be forced to lock himself into probably Rock Slide. Yeah, he'd be probably forced into Rock Slide, as Landers is going to come out. And switching out my Gardevoir. I mean, I could Rage Powder, but I am in Earthquake range. I am going to switch out into my Landers to get the Intimidate off onto his Landers. And go for the Spore, because if he knocks out my Amoonguss, he has to go for an Overheat. And if he goes for the Overheat, that's completely fine because he gets a -2 special attack drop. So I don't mind this at all. No matter what, its Pokemon are going to be severely weakened, as Intimidate's going to happen and -1 Lander. So we'll see what it decides to go for right here. As it's going to be the Rock Slide, which does make sense, as Rock Slide's going to connect. He might have to hope for some Rock Slide flinches. And the Will-O-Wisp is going to go, into the Lander slot. I would have Will-O-Wisp the Amoonguss slot, but okay. As we do get the Spore off, which is nice, because now, basically, we already guaranteed the Lander sleeping. Excellent. As now I can U-turn out, I think, pretty safely. Yeah, I can just U-turn out. I'm gonna or I could Rock Tomb the Landers. Rock Tomb actually seems pretty good. I could Rock Tomb the Rotom, too. He might protect Rotom, though, which could be a problem. Rock Tomb actually seems like the better call. But I think I would need 2 Rock Tombs anyway to make my Tyranitar outspeed, so I'm just going to protect and U-turn out. This allows me to get my Tyranitar potentially in for free, as he does decide to protect his Rotom, which definitely makes sense. We are protecting our Amoonguss as well. I could have got a Giga Drain off because Giga Drain would have allowed me to see if it's Assault Vest or not. Lander's going to take a guaranteed turn of sleep, as we do go for the U-turn here. And we now have another Intimidate, which is excellent, as we are going to come back with our Landers and send out Tyranitar. My voice sounds really stuffy. Wow. This endgame was actually quite tough. Sandstorms to sides. I don't think it matters because unless he has like Earth Power, shouldn't matter. And I'm 100% going to risk the Rock Slide right here, because Crunch wouldn't knock at the Landers anyway in Rage Power. As long as I hit one or two Rock Slides, I should be good, and hopefully he doesn't Rock Slide from me right here. He does stay asleep, which is excellent for me, as Overheat's going to come out. So this Rotom is extremely weakened right now. Nice, as Amoonguss is going to go down, but at the cost of Rotom losing two levels of special attack, as Amoonguss does fall. And Rock Slide is going to come out, and it does connect with both his Pokemon. Nice. Ooh, Rotom actually hangs on. Interesting. Reveal Citrus Berry. Okay. I can see that. I think I'm going to go into Gardevoir though, and just click Hyper Voice and Rock Slide, I think. Yeah. If he is locked... Yeah. I don't think Earthquake will knock me out because I'm minus... Because he's -1. Maybe if he's Choice Banded though. Oh, I didn't think about that. I don't think they run Choice Band on this team though. I'm pretty sure it's Choice Scarf, Assault Vest. Yeah, I don't think it is. So, yeah, if he goes for Earthquake, he has to be Choice Banded, I think, to knock me out. Maybe a better play would have been switching out into my Landers, because, yeah. But he is Choice locked into Rock Slide. We'll see what move he is locked into. Looks like Scarf, as we do get the Hyper Voice off, and that should be a good game. We also outspeed his Rotom if we don't knock it out. And we will pick up the knockout on Landers and Rotom. So, very lucky game. Definitely avoiding the two Rock Slides definitely mattered. They definitely mattered. I mean, I still think I could have won, even without the Rock Slide misses, if I just kept going for those Intimidates, kept cycling them onto his Landers, and then he wouldn't really be able to touch my Gardevoir and set up a Trick Room. Basically, I think would have won me the game. So yeah, I could have won that even if maybe both those Rock Slides hit, but then again, he would have had a chance to flinch. Very annoying, but it is the risk you do run when running Terracotta. I do know how many times you can miss Rock Slide while using Terracotta. But anyway, we're going to be doing one more battle, and we'll see you in a second. Alright, we got Trebb from Mexico with a 1629 rating as our second opponent. Ooh. This looks interesting. And, man. I can't breathe, people. It's in my nose, it's in my throat. We have a Suicune, Mienshao, Mawile, Sableye, Sylveon, and Bronzong. So, Bronzong is interesting. It didn't really show much of an appearance until 2016. That's where it got really good, resisting Fairy, especially Xerneas, and hitting it with a very powerful Gyro Ball. So, two possible Mega Evolutions for my opponent, Mawile and Sableye. Mawile will probably definitely be a Mega Evolution. Sableye could just be Prankster, could be Mega as well. Suicune looks very annoying though. Suicune, I don't exactly have the fondest of Suicune. I could leave Double Genies here, that's definitely an option. I think Gardevoir plus Thundurus might be my best lead. Yeah. Gardevoir, Thundurus, Heatran, and Landis Baron, I think. It could bring Amoonguss because his team definitely could be Trick Room, yet it can also function out of Trick Room. And I'm not exactly sure if he wants to bring the Bronzong. I mean, Bronzong can do pretty decently against my team. However, if he decides to bring his Mega Evolution, Sableye, or Mawile, it's probably weak to Heatran. And, I guess I could see it. Maybe Mienshao Bronzong as a lead with Mawile and Suicune in the back. Not exactly sure. But yeah, Heatran looks very important in this matchup. If I get rid of Suicune, I think, and maybe Mienshao, I'm not sure if he would bring Mienshao in the matchup with Gardevoir, Thundurus, and Landers. He could have Ice Punch though. But if I get rid of those two Pokemon, it looks like my Heatran does so much work against my opponent's team. So we'll see. Could be HP Ground Sylveon too. I could definitely see that. I am going to lead my Gardevoir Thundurus. Pretty safe lead against my opponent's Sableye and Bronzong. So my opponent did bring Bronzong. Interesting. We are going to trace the Prankster. Not going to help us. Neither ability would really help us. But I think we can just go for a Hyper Voice here. I'm expecting a Fake Out from Sableye. Could be into the Thundurus or the Gardevoir. I'd expect Fake Out to Gardevoir if he is expecting maybe a um if he's expecting maybe he has Mental Herb. So I'm just gonna withdraw Thundurus into Heatran because Heatran loves the position here. It can just spam Heat Waves pretty freely and not really worry about any of my opponent's Pokemon as we are going to Mega Evolve our Gardevoir and just go for the Hyper Voice. I really doubt he's going for the turn 1 Gyro Ball since he does not have Trick Room up yet. As he does go for the Fake Out and it's going to target the Thunder slot like I predicted, so we are going to be able to get rid of the Sableye pretty freely as we do go for the Hyper Voice here and that will be able to pick up the knockout Sableye. So Sableye is already gone. With a critical hit, I don't think that mattered. It's a very stab Hyper Voice. As my opponent's actually just going to launch the Gyro Ball, which is actually, it's not the best, it's not the worst either. It does leave my Gardevoir hanging, but I think Gardevoir's only role was really to knock out that Sableye since he brought it in, potentially damage the Suicune because I do have to damage the Suicune in order to win the game. So I could overheat Bronzong here for a knockout. I think that's my best play. As my opponent's actually going to bring up Mawa, so this is definitely an interesting position for my opponent here. I wonder if he's got Hypnosis on the Bronzong or something cool. Do I care if he Sucker Punches Gardevoir? I mean, I can go into Landers because Landers can do a lot of good things. Maybe I could maybe I could Heat Wave Trick Room. Because he's forced to Trick Room, right? I think Landers is a better call no matter what, though. Yeah, I'm going to go into Landers, actually, get the Intimidate off, and fire off a Heat Wave. This avoids, like, a crit Sucker Punch or something. As I do... I mean, a Sucker Punch... Like, 2 Sucker Punches knock out my Heatran, as I do get the Intimidate off onto both these Pokemon. Maybe he has Hypnosis and is going to go for a Blind Hypnosis. Mawa is going to protect those, so I could have went for the Reverse Trigger, anticipating the Trigger. But I do want to keep Gardevoir alive in case the Suicune becomes more problematic. We are going to get Heat Wave off. That did not as much damage as I was expecting. It might be Heat-proof Bronzong as Citrus Berry is going to activate, and there's the Trick Room, which is fine. We already intimidated a Mawa, so this is pretty good. He has to hit a Blind Hypnosis, I think, onto my Heatran. I could just Earthquake here. Or I could U-turn Heat Wave. I like U-turn Heat Wave more. I'm definitely scared of Suicune in the back. I think I'm going to Earthquake and Protect here because I highly doubt he goes for Hypnosis or something. And I really do expect a Heat Wave from Bronzong. That Bronzong took the Heat Wave way too well for my comfort. As Mawa is going to Mega Evolve, we also weaken the Mawa anyway. I'm not even sure if Heat Wave knocks out Mawa, so this is my best chance right here. Landers doesn't seem like the most necessary Pokemon in the game here, as Gyro Ball is going to go out onto my Landers. It is intimidated though. Maybe he doubled up onto the Landers slot. A player. Oh, he did. Wow. As we do live on 3, we get the attack drop though, which is unfortunate. He's Levitate actually, so okay. But we do get the necessary damage on Maw to guarantee the knockout with Heat Wave onto the Maw, so that is fine. As Landers is expendable, as I said, I can go for a U-turn here and go for Heat Wave. Landers does not do anything for me, especially this slow. I mean, he does get intimidated off of maybe a potential Mienshao in the back, but I'm not expecting Mienshao. I'm expecting Suicune or maybe the other thing, but Sylveon. But he's gonna Rock Slide here. Oh man. He gets a critical hit on Heatran, which is already pretty big, actually. But he goes for Play Rough. Okay. That's Quad Resisted, you're -1. We do get the Heat Wave off, and it does connect with both Pokemon. How much will this do? That almost picks up the knockout Bronzong. Not enough. But we are able to knock out the Mawa, and that's pretty big. As I can go out into my Thundurus right here, as Sylveon is going to come out. So Sylveon is my opponent's last Pokemon. Let's see. Do I risk it being Calm Mind? I could double Protect here to stall out Trigger him, but I don't want to risk Calm Mind. I really don't. If he has Hidden Power Ground, that's the only way he can touch Heatran, and I do have a Shuck Berry, so I would live it pretty easily. I'm just gonna go for a double tax. He is gonna go for the rock slide, so gonna go for the flinches. I wonder what kind of damage the Sylveon will do. It's gonna go for the hyper voice. How much will it do here? We'll see. The damage, life orb, maybe pixie plate, because that did a lot of damage. As Thunder's gonna heal back with his citrus berry. Heatran flinches and Thunder's flinches as well. That is unfortunate. I do believe that's Specs though, so I'm gonna protect here, double protect to waste a turn because I think it's Specs and it's locked into. I do believe he's locked into Hyper Voice, so I'm gonna double protect here, stall out a turn. As Rock Slide is gonna come out as well as a Hyper Voice. And I think and Twisted Dimensions do return to normal. Excellent, excellent. I can go for the Thunderbolt onto Bronzong and the Heat Wave. Thunderbolt Bronzong just to guarantee it. Oh, he has Protect though. That makes this game more interesting actually. Alright, Thunderbolt into Bronzong. Heat Wave comes out. It does connect with the Sylveon though. That's important because I need damage on the Sylveon. Hyper Voice is going to come out. How much will this do to my Heatran? 89 to 63. Okay, we can live at least one more. So I'm going to bring out my Gardevoir here. And I click Hyper Voice and I click Overheat, I think. I think Overheat will pick up the knockdown Sylveon at that range. Yeah. Let's click Overheat and Hyper Voice. Bronzong going to go for a double protect, and he does get it. This is why I want to go for the Overheat to pick up the knockout on Sylveon. Hopefully it connects here, or we could be in trouble if he gets a crit on Heatran. As Overheat does connect onto the Sylveon, that should pick up the knockout because Heat Wave did a lot of damage. This is a single target Overheat. Critical hit, I don't think it mattered, but even if it did, as long as I double connect the Heat Wave, I should have been able to win the game no matter what. And yeah, now my opponent can't win because I have an accurate Hyper Voice coming my opponent's way. And yeah, good game to my opponent as he does forfeit. I really feel like he should have brought Suicune in that matchup. Because, yeah, I did have Thunders and Gardevoir, but I feel like Suicune, if it was like a Calm Mind Rest set, definitely. Even if it was a support set, like Suicune would have made it annoying because of Snarl and Scald. Scald would have been able to do a lot of damage. If he focused on knocking out my Heatran, he could have definitely won pretty easily. So I'm actually surprised he didn't bring Suicune because Suicune was just like one of his best ways to knock out my Heatran. Sure, he could have brought Mienshao, but Mienshao's pretty frail, and with Intimidate support from my side, I don't feel like it was the best call anyway, so I do respect him not bringing Mienshao, but definitely I think Suicune should have been brought. Maybe it was Choice Specs Hidden Power Ground, but he couldn't lock himself into that, otherwise he would have lost the game. But anyway, good game to my opponent as we're going to wrap up this episode of Battle Spot Doubles. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, a lot of new stuff coming for VGC 2017. Really am looking forward to the format and have some cool things planned out for the future. So see you guys then.